On a partly sunny Sunday in Seattle, it's time for Cardinals baseball. We join you from T-Mobile Park, where the fish and the feathers will be flying in Game 3 of our series. The Redbirds try to pick up a win and avoid a 3-game series sweep. Hi again, everybody. Chip and Brad, great to be with you in Seattle. Cardinals lost a tough one last night, 5-4 your final. They've never been swept by Seattle, Brad. Don't want that to start today. And they welcome a new face back to the roster and the lineup. Paul DeJong is back from his rehab.
Yeah, new addition, old friend in Paul DeJong. He had been dealing with the back injury. He went down to Memphis. He got in the work, and boy, does he look healthy. Capped off these numbers on Friday. Had a 6 RBI performance, including a home run. He looks good, and you might as well ride the wave against Chris Flexen. Right-handers hit him well. Paul DeJong's going to be there in the lineup.
Cardinals offense could use a spark. They could also use a great start from Jack Flaherty, who's looked very good his last couple of times out. DeJong and Flaherty, can both Cardinals return to their 2019 form today? Well, we're about to find out. We'll break down Jack's recent run for the Redbirds as we continue from Seattle, Washington next.
Very Jack Flaherty-esque, but look what he's doing now with 2 strikes, retiring the hitters at a 77% clip. First 2 starts, wasn't getting it done. He's going to need to bury these Mariner hitters today.
So that's Jack Flaherty's Kia player profile. He has faced the Mariners before. Hopes for better luck today as the Cardinals play Game 3. Fun the first 2 games. We'll see if the Cardinals can turn that around. It's stop 1 on our 3-city trip. The Cardinals look for their first win against the Mariners next. Cardinals baseball brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. By BJC Healthcare, you deserve extraordinary care. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. Chip and Brad with you. Alexa Dan along for the ride as well. Time to get in the win column. The Cardinals have never been swept by Seattle, and Jack Flaherty, the man tasked with keeping that fact alive on a 54-degree day. Partly cloudy skies. Roof open here at T-Mobile Park for our series wrap-up.
It certainly is time to turn the page for the Cardinals. Cardinals had the lead last couple of days. Bullpen gave up 2 in each one of them, but this is the lineup Ollie Marmol's going to roll out there, and you'll notice a couple of different looks. You got Nootbaar and Goldie off the top. You'll see 7 of the 9 hitters from the right side. Right-handers a lot better against Flexen, and Paul DeJong gets called back up, gets recalled, and right in the lineup.
And they will indeed face Chris Flexen. He's filling in for Robbie Ray, who's injured. Flexen has been better out of the bullpen. 1 real bad outing against the Cubs a couple of times ago.
Yeah, that's where that 7.79 ERA comes from. He gave up 8 in that one. The Hyundai pitch arsenal for Flexen. He'll 4-seam, use that cutter, uses that to the left. He's a little bit more. Change-up, slider, sinker, curve. Look, nothing overpowering about Chris Flexen. He just knows how to pitch, and he stays down in the zone a lot.
Tough game for the Cardinals last night. They led 3-1 before Seattle scored twice in the 6th and 7th. Cardinals got a Tommy Edman homer in the 9th, but that rally fell short. And if you couldn't stay up late with us last night, it was a 5-4 Seattle victory in Game 2. So they've won the series. The Cardinals try to salvage Game 3. And Lars Nootbaar waits and drives the first one a mile high to right. That's how you start a ball game. A leadoff home run.
Well, things have not gone as planned. This series had slipped away from you. What a way to start it here. Lars Nootbaar on the first pitch of the ball game against Chris Flexen. That'll get him going.
So 1 pitch, it's 1-0. Here is Paul Goldschmidt. And he takes a little low. 1 ball, no strikes. The Mariners don't give up a lot of homers. That's just the 15th they've allowed. And Nootbaar now has 2 homers on the year. And Anthony's a strike, says Dan Iasonia. He's got the plate. How about Nootbaar? He's getting a lot of walks, hasn't picked up a whole bunch of hits. 5 hits this year, but 2 of them have left the ballpark.
We've seen that from him, though. He's got that ability, especially at the top of the strike zone.
There's a rope hit by Goldie to left. That ball is going to be off the fence. Big turnaround first. He hit it too hard. Kelnick played it well. It's a long single for Paul Goldschmidt, and the Cardinals are on time against Flexen here in the first inning.
Well, a couple of missiles, and Goldie gets on one. Nolan Arenado, he's going to be up here soon getting on one too, and Nootbaar with the first pitch of the game. He gets it going. This is the start they needed. Flexen, if he's up, he is very, very hittable. The couple of pitches that the Cardinals have hit to this point have been up in the zone.
So Nolan Gorman hits, hitting third, and he jumps on the first one. That's into the right field corner. Goldie around second on his way to third. The Cardinals have 3 straight hits to start the game.
Not wasting any time. This wasn't a terrible pitch either that Gorman drives out to right field, change up down and away, but he's ready for it. They're going to go have a conversation on the mound. These Cardinals hitters, day game, ready to rock and roll. Love it.
Getting hits, getting on base has not been the problem for the Cardinals. Now can you cash in these opportunities, Brad, with a big inning?
Well, Castillo, the Cardinals did as good of a job as anybody has this year against Luis Castillo, but did leave some meat on the bone, stranded the bases loaded early. Keep pouring it on here against Flexen.
To that point, the Cardinals' 3rd in on-base percentage in all of baseball, but just 20th in runs scored. 3 straight hits, 1-0, and Arenado is the hitter. And he takes a strike. Inside corner. 0-1 your count.
Nolan recently, he's been struggling in these spots. He's 1 for his last 11 with runners in scoring position. You know he could break out of it quickly, though.
That one hit came last night. It was an RBI hit for the Cardinals. As a nice block by Raleigh saves a run. Even count. 1 ball, 1 strike. You just get the sense watching the Cardinals that at times everybody's trying to get 2 hits, 2 RBIs with 1 at bat or 1 swing of the bat.
It happens too when you're struggling as a team. You feel like there's always that pressure there instead of that loose approach of being there. The Cardinals have struck out more in these positions than we've seen recently. But it's nice to be able to go up and just take some loose at bats, trust in your approach.
There's no panic in the locker room. Ali Marmol talked with us about that before the game. They are firm and steadfast in their belief of this turning around, and so far so good today. Up and in.
And I think that to that point, there's a distinct line when I think that a lot of people hear when they hear no panic, they think, oh, they don't care. No, there's frustration. There's a solid amount of frustration, but you're not going to panic. You know you're putting in the work. You know that some of the outlying numbers are there, and you believe that the luck will turn for you.
Nolan swung at a ball out of the zone there. Full count. That's something he has done. To illustrate Brad's point, he's chased a little more than we're used to seeing. And now a full count. And Arenado needs a moment to gather his thoughts. He'll take his timeout with a full count. Let's see if Gorman takes off here with nobody out and a 3-2 pitch to come. Flexen ready. He's going. The pitch is cut on a miss. The throw to second. Short hop and in time. And Goldschmidt will come home and score. A strike him out, throw him out double play. The Cardinals, though, get their second run. It's 2-0.
Yeah, 2 for 1. Not exactly as planned here. The fastball down and into Nolan Arenado. Good pitch. Flexen ties him up, and Raleigh comes up, throws one on the money. Good pick and tag at second there by Wong.
So the Cardinals lead by 2 as Goldschmidt scores. Here's Wilson Contreras. He's the DH for the Redbirds today. And didn't get that. No balls and a strike. First 3 Cardinals hitters reached homers, single. And Seattle traded the second run for the bases clearing double play. Flexen, a longtime New York Met, now in Seattle. They're sporting their throwback uniforms today. And the 1-1 pitch. Right under the golden bat, and Contreras didn't think so.
Well, you're seeing after the first 3 batters of the game, Nootbaar, Goldie, and Gorman, Flexen really trying to pitch inside a little bit more. Make these Cardinal hitters a little bit more uncomfortable.
Now Contreras requests his timeout. One ball, 2 strikes. Base is empty here in the top of the first.
Well, Contreras has been so good as of late. Added 2 hits yesterday. Last 6 games, he's been on fire. And been really good in these spots with 2 strikes all year long. A couple of 0-2 hits yesterday. Going the other way with the ball. Something that you're going to have to do against Flexen.
Who delivers a 3-2 pitch. And missed badly with that. And Contreras flips the bat away and takes first base as the Cardinals first continues. A look at the Seattle defense. That's presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Teoscar Hernandez has had a big series at the plate. He's their right fielder. Suarez, Crawford, Wong, and Ty France ring the infield with Cal Raleigh back in harness behind the plate. Tyler O'Neill, the hitter. Runner aboard, 2 outs. And had a good rip at that. O'Neill looking for his first hit of the series. He's 0 for 4. Back our way, and just like that, it's 0-2.
Well, Flexen sees a lot of these counts. He gets ahead. He gets the 2 strikes. Rarely buries the hitters. He's got 11 strikeouts so far this year, but for the amount of 2-strike counts he's in, doesn't get that many punch outs. He's going to give you something to put in play.
To go along with those now 12 strikeouts, he's also walked 9 batters. That's not a ratio you want. 1 strikeout, 1 walk here in the first. A leadoff homer for Nootbaar got the party started for the Cardinals. And now O'Neill awaits a 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss up in the zone, and that will retire the side. Lars Nootbaar, first pitch of the game, said, "Hello, Seattle." He hit one nearly to Puget Sound, and the Redbirds with 2 in the first handed over to Jack Flaherty. 2-run top of the first inning. Now, Brad, the Redbirds turn to Jack Flaherty to even his record at 2-2 today.
Yeah, Jack Flaherty making his 5th start of the season, coming off of what was a better outing than it looked like on paper against the Diamondbacks. Was pretty solid throughout that. The Hyundai pitch arsenal for Jack Flaherty: 4-seam slider, curve, cutter, changeup, and sinker. We know what he's got. The question is going to be in this one, just does he command the fastball early? Has not thrown as many strikes with that pitch as he would like to at this point.
He'll start with Julio Rodriguez. Nasty breaking ball. Good way to start. As we look at Scott Service's Seattle Mariners starting lineup, Teoscar Hernandez has done the bulk of the damage offensively against St. Louis in this series.
Well, with 1 pitch in this ball game, Jack did something that he didn't do at all last time out against the Diamondbacks, is get a swing and miss with the slider. Did not have one of those, which is very odd for Jack.
2 swings and misses with that pitch. And a great start for Flaherty. He strikes out Rodriguez, who's 1 for 8 now in the series. The Cardinal defense presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Paul DeYoung is back and playing shortstop today. Andrew Kisner is behind the plate. In the Cardinals outfield, left to right, O'Neill, Nootbaar, and Jordan Walker in right. Here's Ty France. You're right about Jack. His last outing against Arizona, 4 hits, 4 runs. Top of the 7th inning, homer, double, walk. Yeah, as that one got him a breaking ball that didn't bite, and France got clipped. He's aboard with 1 out.
It really was bookends in that game, wasn't it? It started off with a leadoff hit by Rojas. Marte knocked him in and then was solid for 5+ after that one. Breaking ball here, popped out of the hand of Jack Flaherty. Let's see if he's got a ground ball pitch.
Jackson do 7 double play balls so far this year. 1 from Eugenio Suarez would be nice. Suarez 5 career hits against Flaherty. 3 of them, though, home runs. Cardinals have turned 24 double plays. And another breaking ball in for a strike. That one got the inside corner.
Well, that is the pitch this year that Jack has been able to throw for a strike more than anything else. And that's where you want to put it. That first one got away with 1 on the inner half. You want that thing down on the outer half. That's where you're going to get your swing and miss or the rollover.
2 quick strikes for the Seattle third baseman, Eugenio Suarez. And he popped him up. Right side of the diamond. And easy play for Paul Goldschmidt. And there is out number 2. That's one way I think, Brad, the game has changed so much. You look at the pitch tendencies, for example, the Mariners relief pitchers, almost all of them throw their slider more than they throw their fastball.
Well, I think that to that point, right, the numbers are bearing out. If it's your best pitch, throw it the most. And that ends up being the case with Jack. His slider grades out to be his best pitch. Now, I do think as a starter, it's incredibly important to be able to put your fastball where you want it, get ahead with that. That makes your slider more effective. Just like that. 92 right there on the corner.
To Cal Raleigh, who's 1 for 4 in the series. He's knocked in 12 runs this year. Switch hitting catcher with power. Man, is that a valuable commodity? The next. Just missed inside, even count. Cardinals lead 2-0 on 3 first-inning hits. He went. Raleigh can't believe that. So Flaherty gets a call here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a breaking ball finishes the inning. 2 strikeouts for Jack Flaherty. France left stranded at first. And Paul DeJong is coming back to the Cardinals. He'll lead off the second. Well, Cardinal Nation, here's a sight for sore eyes. Paul DeJong is back after a very successful rehab at Class A and AAA for the Cardinals.
Yeah, glad to see him back. Know the spring was frustrating for him. He had revamped his swing. He's standing more upright. He made some changes, but the body wouldn't allow him to get into it. Went down to AAA, put in the work, and here he is back. Looking to make a difference.
1 ball, no strikes from Flexen, who turns it loose. And out of play, foul, right side. What do you expect from DeJong? How much playing time do you expect him to get? And what will he bring to this Cardinals offense?
Well, I think it's going to be indicative on the matchups. We talked about Flexen right-handers having more success against him, so you'd like to get DeJong right in there. But I think it'll be what he does with his time. If he hits, he'll get more and more opportunities. You know that he is a plus defensively, an all-star in 2019. I know that feels like it was a decade ago. The last 3 years have been a struggle for DeJong, but like anybody else, if he produces, he'll be out there.
Turned it loose, didn't get it. Flexen living up in the strike zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes. DeJong, Walker, and Kisner, the bottom third of the lineup card for Ollie and the Cardinals today. Lars Nootbaar homered on the first pitch of the day. If you're just joining us. And now the 2-ball, 2-strike pitch. Putting up a fight here.
Couple of good rips here from Paul DeJong. We talked about the last 3 years. I mean, you look at 2020 through 2022, hitting under 200 combined in those 3 years. DeJong has just battled himself, battled some injuries.
Lined into left center field. That's down for a base hit. Welcome back to St. Louis, Paul DeJong. That's how you want to start.
And then he battled Chris Flexen. You gotta love that first at bat. Fouled off of a couple of good fastballs. Then gets himself this changeup, center cut. Stays back, puts that good swing on it. Look how quiet that swing is by Paul DeJong. Good start.
Now Jordan Walker is your hitter. An amazing stat on the Cardinals rookie right fielder. He's got 19 hits this year off 19 different pitchers. And he takes a strike. Walker had a big hit here in the series opener. He had a day off back in St. Louis, went to work in the cage, trying to hit the ball the other way, and Brad, that paid off.
It really did. Got a slider away, drove it that way. Something he's going to have to be thinking here.
Up the middle is not a bad idea either. Back-to-back hits for the Cardinals. What do they say? Use the center of the field? Well, he did that perfectly.
That's it. Exactly to your point of what they were working on was breaking balls away, driving the ball up the middle the other way. Well, what do we got? A slider. It's up and away, makes a mistake, and shoots it right back up the middle. We saw him a little bit earlier this season, even while he was going through that tremendous hitting streak, the 12-game streak to start his career, pulling off a lot of those pitches and rolling them over weakly to the left side. Great adjustment by Jordan Walker.
So 20 hits for Walker, 20 different pitchers, something that Andrew Kisner can say when he started his career. And he's up with 2 on, nobody out. Shows bunt, pops it up, and that is going to bounce foul. Oh, there's a break. Another step. Suarez might have been able to catch that. He didn't. And it's strike 1.
Yeah, that could have been ugly a couple of different ways. One, if he catches that in the air, and 2, Suarez thought about sticking the hand out and trying to catch it. Smart to pull back on that one.
Cardinals have 2 sacrifices this year. Kisner has one of them. Let's see if it stays on here. He shows bunt, and he does. Back to the mound, too hard. Pitcher handles 1 at third. High throw at first, and the Cardinals have 2 aboard, 1 out.
Well, tries to get it down. The job on that side is to get it down to the left side of the infield. Just way too close to flexing the pitcher. He gets the lead out at third.
So first and second, 1 out, back to the top of the order. Brad, what's your Toyota key to the game?
Well, it's something that you'd have loved to see last time out. It's pour it on. The Cardinals have a lead. Keep it going right now. Newt got things going with the first pitch of the game. It's time to pour on against Flexen and the Mariners.
And up and away. He had a golden opportunity to say Lars Nootbaar hit a home run on the first pitch. For your Toyota key.
You know how this game flies now. You don't have time to get all these things in.
1-0 count. Smoked into center field. On comes Rodriguez, still coming. He's going to get there. Tries to deke the runner, and he did. That was textbook center field defense for Rodriguez. And Walker wandered too far off the bag, and the Cardinals are out of luck in the second. Live or on demand, new and included for 2023. Stream all minor league baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for all the details. Cardinals with a couple of offensive double plays in the first 2 innings, but they lead 2-0. And Teoscar Hernandez will face Jack Flaherty leading off.
Well, Teoscar Hernandez has been a real pain in the tail this series. Had the game-tying 2-run home run in the 6th inning. Home run in a couple of straight here against the Redbirds.
Lined into left field, and a diving grab by O'Neill. Terrific play by Tyler on a sinker to left.
That is a big decision to be making right there for Tyler O'Neill. You know Jack Flaherty loves it. He gives the nod and the tip of the cap. If he misses this is 3 bags potentially. And Tyler O'Neill coming in on this sinking liner. What a play by the Gold Glover.
So Jared Kelenic, the batter, he's had a super series. 3 hits, 3 RBIs. And another chance for O'Neill in left. He's gone as far as he can go at the fence. First pitch homer, Kelenic. Brad, the ball explodes off this guy's bat the other way.
Yeah, it really does. Look at this pitch to it. It's a slider. It's on the inner half, and he just lets it travel, lets it get deep. The hands come through, gets the barrel to it, and drives it out to the opposite field for the 2nd time in 2 days.
So that cuts the Cardinals' lead in half, and A.J. Pollock is your batter. And left-hand hitters that can hit the ball with authority the other way. Whew, what a breakout year Kelenic's having here in Seattle.
Kelenic has almost matched his total in home runs from a year ago. He's already at 6, had 7 all of last year in his rookie year struggles.
Right center. Nootbaar, track, wall in the park, just big enough to hold that. A.J. Pollock is out number 2. Some fireworks here in the 2nd as we say hi, Alexa.
Hi, Chip. Talking about Paul DeJong, yes, welcome back. Coming off that 6 RBI game on Friday. Spent a good amount of time hitting in the cages today, working up a sweat. Said he was really excited to be back with all of the guys. Had a conversation earlier today with Jordan Walker about wearing the long sleeves or not. Is it cold enough here in Seattle? He opted not. But it's just interesting to see him back around his teammates that he feels really comfortable with. So for those conversations to go on, he said he's just really thrilled not only to see his guys again, but to be back out there and getting the start today.
And got that first hit out of the way in his first at bat. So thanks for that great report, Alexa. We'll chat later on this afternoon. Cardinals now lead 2-1.
Well, you know how that is too. You feel like when you're out of sight, you're out of mind. He's right back in the fold.
And the sad part of DeJong's return, if you want to put it that way, is that Taylor Motter was designated for assignment. Not an easy call for Ollie and the staff.
No, you're absolutely right. A guy that did everything that he could to make this ball club.
Little pop into shallow center. That'll drop in front of Nootbaar for a blue pit for Colton Wong. His first hit of the series, and the inning continues.
Yeah, pretty good pitch here by Jack Flaherty as well. Gets a fastball in on the hands of Colton Wong. Wants it up, wants it in, gets it up and in. But Colton muscles it into center field. But back to Motter. He was a guy that nobody thought about him in spring training. He's a guy that could end up cracking this club. Now DeJong's injury left the door open, but he hit the ball hard. He played hard. Ended fitting in pretty well with this ball club.
The Cardinals have a week and a half to figure out what to do with Motter. If he's able to pass through waivers, I think Taylor said, I'd love to stay with the Cardinals organization.
I think they'd love to have him.
So here's J.P. Crawford. He's been a on-base machine. He's drawn a ton of walks, 15 of them for Seattle. He's picked up a hit in this series. He's their 9th place hitter and tries to flip the card over to Julio Rodriguez, who waits next. Perfect pitch. One ball, one strike.
If you're Jack Flaherty, too, if you're going to get a call down there by Dan Iasonia, I'd be inclined to go back down to that area.
Seattle, the first stop for the Cardinals on this 3-city Western trip will play the Giants starting tomorrow night. We wrap up the road trip in Los Angeles versus the Dodgers. Seattle's got a fun road trip coming up. Wait till you get their schedule. First, the 2-1 pitch, which is scorched toward left. O'Neill on the run. He's going to turn and play that well off the fence. Cardinals relay the ball in quickly. Heck of a job there. That could have been a lot worse. They might have had a play on Crawford. Fortunately, O'Neill got the ball back in quickly enough to keep the Cardinals in front.
He did play this well. If Tyler O'Neill goes after that one, jumps, misses it, it would end up caroming off the wall, get past him. You got to run shortly. He makes a wise decision here. Strong throw in to Paul DeYoung. Do think that they had a play at second base on Crawford. Didn't pull the trigger there, though.
So a single and a double with 2 outs, and now you have to face Rodriguez in a big RBI situation. Cardinals, knock on wood, have held him down so far. He's just 1 for 8.
Yeah, he is. We know how good he is. The Cardinals have made some good pitches. Jack made some great pitches to him in the first inning. Breaking ball down, fastball in on his hands, and finish him off with the curveball. But he's one of those guys you can't fall into a pattern against.
So Seattle 3 hits. Flaherty has allowed 6 or fewer hits in 29 straight starts. We'll hope that trend continues, and getting this guy would go a long way toward doing that. We're in the second. It's a 2-1 game. And a good stop. 1 ball, no strikes. As good as his breaking ball has been, you know Kisner's got to be on his toes in this spot with a fast runner 90 feet away. Overcooked that one. 2-0.
And you also know with the base open, not that you want to face Ty France. Ty France is hitting for average as well. He's got some pop, but you're not going to just lay a cookie in there for Rodriguez to do damage.
Ooh, that was close.
That's where you want to miss, though. That's where you're going to get somebody in a fastball count, come out of their shoes. Rodriguez doesn't do it. Credit to him.
So 3-0. And 4 straight. Good patience by the young Mariners outfielder. He didn't offer. And a 4-pitch walk loads him up, and you face France, whom Flaherty hit with a pitch his last time up. Well, already a big spot in this game. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and it's getting loud at T-Mobile Park.
But to that point, you see Jack Flaherty adjusting the pitch comm in his head. When it gets loud, it gets more and more difficult to hear the signs.
This is where Seattle has been very tough. With the bases loaded as a team, they're hitting .346 on the year. One ball, no strikes. A slider swung late, even count.
Well, these spots, that's where Jack has relied heavily upon that slider. It's the pitch again that he controls the best. Down and away to France. Probably where he wants to stay.
Breaking ball, a base hit. He hung it. And Wong will score. Crawford around third. Here comes O'Neill's throw. It's off the line. Hits him in the back of the foot. And the runners will advance to second and third. And Seattle has its first lead. All of this with 2 outs.
Well, first the pitch, it was a curveball by Jack Flaherty, just stays up enough for France to shoot it right through the hole. Then Tyler O'Neill comes up throwing, and it just feels like if it could go wrong, it will. Catches him right on the bottom of the foot, and the runners advance.
So now you face Suarez. Seattle leads. Single, double, walk, single. And the Mariners with 3 runs in the second inning. That's headed for the upper deck off to our right. It's an even count. Suarez popped out to first in his first at bat of the day.
Another good job by Kisner out there to smother that pitch.
Two balls, one strike. And now Flaherty a strike away from sending us to the third inning. He's had to throw a lot of pitches in this second. And Suarez, the 8th batter to come up. This will be the 27th offering from Flaherty in the second inning.
I love the idea of going in, trying to freeze him on the inner half. Doesn't get the call in off the plate, but it does allow you some opportunities. I think you could double up in there if you want to, or throw the slider away.
He missed outside. 96-mile-an-hour fastball, but off the mark. And the bases again are loaded, and Cal Raleigh coming up.
Well, Dusty Blake is going to take the stroll out there to talk to Jack Flaherty, give him a little bit of a breather here in an inning. As you mentioned, he has thrown a lot of pitches, a lot of high stress pitches. Want to give him a little bit of time here to collect himself for Cal Raleigh.
Who, as we said, is a switch hitting catcher, but this is the problematic side if you're an opposing pitcher. Most of his damage is done as a left-hand hitter. And for the Mariners, one of the biggest home runs in their franchise's history came late last year. Seattle trying to end a 21-year playoff drought. Well, saw Raleigh come off the bench and walk off to send the Pacific Northwest into delirium. So hopefully he got that out of his system.
I was going to say, why are we showing that here? I mean, it's a great moment for their franchise and all, but Uncle trying to snap a skid here.
Bases loaded for Raleigh, who struck out his first time up. Bases are loaded for Jack Flaherty. The pitch at the knees, a strike. Can't throw it any better than that. Same spot.
Well, Cal Raleigh obviously up there looking for a different offering. He's looking for the breaking ball, slider, something that he can hook. Gets a couple of fastballs at the bottom of the zone. He does handle the ball away from him well. Up and in might not be the worst choice here either.
The 0-2 is off the knuckles and fouled away.
I like the idea right there. You go down a couple, you go in. Might even think about going in there again, up higher, either to tie him up, get him off the next pitch, or get the punch out.
1-2. Riley, the 9th man to hit in the inning. Remember, it started with that line drive to left. How big is Tyler O'Neill's catch? Looking right now for St. Louis. As it stands, Seattle's taking a 1-run lead. And he heats him up. All fastballs from Flaherty. And Jack is chirping as he makes his way to the dugout. Seattle takes its first lead. Tacoma Cardinals belt bag courtesy of Mercy. This is one of the must-have promos on the season schedule. For tickets and details, go to cardinals.com/promotions. 32 pitches for Jack Flaherty in the second inning. Seattle strikes for 3 runs. Now here in the third, Paul Goldschmidt will lead off. He singled and scored the second St. Louis run against Chris Flexen.
Well, bend but don't break, right?
Yeah.
That's what the Cardinals did in that inning. They bent, they gave the lead back, but it could have been a whole lot worse. Now they tack back to their initial lead. That bottom of the zone is going to be something that both of these pitchers, Flexen and Flaherty, are going to try to take advantage of.
Tried to bring that pitch back, didn't work. 2 balls and a strike. First hit of the series for Goldschmidt in the opening inning. He'd gone 3 games without a knock, so he took care of that. Let's see if he can pick up a second one here. Out with that pitch, 2-2. And Paul wants to take his timeout.
Well, with 2 strikes, Flexen still likes to stay away. I'd be looking that way if I were Goldie.
The 2-2. Oh, just missed. Flexen thought that was good enough. Pretty close.
I'll tell you what, Dan Iasonia has been pretty consistent on that pitch right off the plate away. Jack threw a couple over there he didn't get.
And Goldie takes ball 4. Good start to the inning. Good discipline. Those pitches were awfully tantalizing, but Goldschmidt earns ball 4, the second Cardinal walk. Nolan Gorman coming up. First, a quick word from Rally House.
Play ball, St. Louis. Shop the latest in Cardinals style with your favorite brands and throwback designs. Rally House has gear for every fan.
Nolan Gorman singled his first time up.
Gorman didn't waste any time in his first at bat. Jumped on a changeup. It wasn't even a terrible pitch by Flexen. It was down, it was away, but he went down and got it, drove it out to right.
Good rip, but fouled off the netting.
Well, we've talked about it all season long. The leadoff walks with the Cardinals pitching staff. It seemed like those guys just keep trotting in. Let's hope this one ends up biting Chris Flexen.
A lot of room on the third base line for Nolan if he can shoot one that way. And you can see the book that everything's up or trying to be up against Gorman. He's done a nice job of laying off.
Well, something that Flexen likes to try to do to the left-handers as well is he'll throw that harder slider up and into them. But if you don't get it in there, it's danger zone. Brought that changeup back top of the zone. I don't think that's exactly where he was trying to go with that pitch, but it worked. Got the call.
And so the count for Gorman is 2-2. Goldschmidt at first, nobody out. 3-2 Seattle. And fouled straight back.
Yeah, there's that tight slider right there from Flexen. Tries to tie you up with that, and then you think about what is the pitch that could be the furthest opposite from that. That's that changeup that dives down and away. A lot to cover for a left-handed bat.
Tipped and caught. And Gorman is retired on strikes. 1 on, 1 out. And Nolan Arenado, your hitter. He was part of that strike him out, throw him out double play in the first inning. The Cardinals got a run out of that to take a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, they got a run, but it still just felt like they let him off the hook in an inning. Can't have that happen. Cardinals got to be able to. We talked about our key to the game. Be able to pour on relentless offense.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. The Cardinals have gotten some early runs, but then all of a sudden the offense just stagnates. We saw it last night. Last 22 hitters that came to the plate for St. Louis beginning in the 4th inning, 11 of them struck out.
Yeah, which is very un-Cardinal like. I mean, really, a team that does not strike out a ton, but have more so with runners in scoring position.
So a 2-0 count for the Cardinals third baseman. On a gray Sunday afternoon in Seattle. Flexen ready with his 50th pitch. And that one is line just foul past third. 2 balls and a strike. Fly ball hit toward left. Kelnick coming on, still coming, and makes the play. That ball hung up forever. And Arenado's retired. Goldschmidt back to first. And 2 men are out. Wilson Contreras is up. But again, we join Alexa.
Chip and Brad, you mentioned Contreras' 2-strike approach and how much success he's had recently with it. A .314 average with 2 strikes. That's 3rd best in baseball. I asked him what changes. Says he wants to get the ball a little bit deeper, trust his hands, trust his eyes, and not try to do too much. It's a conscious effort to simplify, and it's been working so far.
Yeah, he had a rough start offensively for the Cardinals, but over the last week, a lot of hard hit balls the other way, which is usually an excellent sign.
Yeah, that approach that he's talking about there with Alexa, that is indicative of using the whole field. You let the ball travel, you trust your hands, and then it's hard contact up the middle the other way. And then if you throw it in, he can turn on that too.
And it's funny how that approach usually manifests itself. Oftentimes it's with a blue pit. He did that against the Pirates. Big RBI hit. And all of a sudden the pressure was off and the results have flowed.
Yeah, you knew it was going to come. You knew that Wilson Contreras didn't forget how to hit when he put on the Cardinal uniform. It just took a while to get him maybe comfortable and acclimated, but he appears to be there now.
He's got his average up to 279. He walked his first time up. A little bit of back and forth with Dan Iasonia and the Cardinal bench in that first trip to the plate for Wilson. Taking all the way, 3 balls and a strike now. And another walk. Contreras has walked twice, 2 walks in the inning, 3 in total for Flexen, and now O'Neill's coming up. So another one of those runners in scoring position scenarios for the Cardinals. 2 on, 2 outs, 2 gifts. Got to cash him in here in Seattle.
Yeah, another big spot for Tyler O'Neill. Last time up in the first inning, Tyler O'Neill struck out, fastball elevated in the zone. Just having a tougher time to getting to the pitches up. Have to believe that Flexen will try to pitch him there again.
Outfield swings around a bit toward right for Tyler. And upstairs from Flexen, 1 ball, no strikes. O'Neill looking for his second hit of the year with a runner in scoring position.
A pretty good count to get one in here. We've seen that a few times. Flexen falls behind. It's that just tighter cutter down and away. Just trying to miss a barrel to get back into a count.
Two on, two out, 2-1 count. Up the middle, there's a base hit. Here comes Goldie around third. Rodriguez loads up, won't have a play, and O'Neill with a big 2-out hit ties this game.
Needed that big time. Tyler needed it. The Cardinals needed it in that spot. Just could not let Flexen off the hook again. The leadoff walk comes around to score. Jumps on a fastball, elevated. Talked about how he couldn't get to that pitch in his first at bat. He goes up and gets it, drives it up the middle. Huge.
So it's a 3-3 score. Paul DeJong back in the bigs with a base hit his first time. So back and forth we go in Seattle. 3-3 game. DeJong came back off the IL last July and got hot. We'd love similar production on this Western trip from Paul, who's behind 0-2.
Well, these are the counts when you fall behind. Not that you ever want to, but maybe this simplified swing of Paul DeJong will help. There's less moving parts here. Doesn't have as big of a leg kick. Just trust his hands a little bit more.
On the ground left side, Suarez has it, and his peg to first in time. 30 pitches for Flexen, a couple of walks. One of them turns into a game-tying hit from Tyler O'Neill. Jack Flaherty in the second. His offense gave him a nice long rest in the third. Now, Brad, he'll face Hernandez, Kelenic, and Pollock. Now in a tie game.
Yeah, right back to work. We saw Jack early on in this ball game, very sharp. Had to work a lot in that second inning. Would love a fast shutdown like that start right there. Good tight slider on the corner.
After his second inning, we saw Jack very animatedly making his way to the Cardinals dugout. I don't know if he was looking at one of the Mariners base runners, talking to one of the umpires, but he was none too pleased with a 32 pitch second.
Well, you know, Jack is a competitor. He's out there. He's probably was not happy with the inning in the first place. Not happy with the way that things are going currently and wants to do something to fix it. And he's got the opportunity here.
Teoscar Hernandez, the hitter. And now ball 3. Hernandez robbed on a diving catch by O'Neill in left field. That started last inning for the Seattle offense. And now a dangerous pitch here.
A really good decision. Took a little off the breaking ball right there, bottom of the zone. We've seen in this series already, Teoscar Hernandez has such power on the inner half with the fastball.
And he came back to get him. Couple of breaking balls. Beautiful execution for out number 1.
Just love how under control Jack was on both of those pitches.
So here's Jared Kelenic. He jumped on a pitch early in the second inning. That's our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud.
Well, you heard all about this young man last year, ran into his struggles. Now he's running into every pitch so far this year. Drives this one opposite field, slider in, out of the ballpark. And man, he has just been so tough to pitch to.
12 extra base hits now for Kelenic in the first 22 Seattle games. Jack gets right after it quickly. 0-2.
Well, I think part of that pitching to a guy like this is kind of throwing stuff that he's not expecting, keeping him guessing. That was something we talked about with Miles Michaelis yesterday. He was looking for something off speed there. Jack just pumping some fastballs at him.
Kelenich's still a kid. He won't be 24 until mid-July. And good patience there. Last year with the big league club, this man hit 141. And it wasn't a small sample size. He played in 54 games. He's a different player.
Well, as we talked about last year, all the eyes were on him. It was, all right, when's Kelenic coming up? When's he going to be there? Then he gets there, and when's Kelenic going to hit? Is it this week? Is it next week? Edwin Diaz is tearing it up over there with the Mets. This is supposed to be the prize piece. Well, it took a minute, but he's been great this year.
There was another piece that went back to the New York Mets. Besides Edwin Diaz, remember who that player was?
Robinson Cano.
And now the 3-2 pitch is cut unmissed. Man, when he's taken 2 or 3 miles an hour off that breaking ball, it seems to have even sharper and crackling bites.
Yeah, to your point, we've really seen him vary about 5-6 miles an hour with that slider. This one there at 83. We saw one in the same at bat at 79 miles an hour.
He makes it look easy. He struck out the last 3 hitters. And A.J. Pollock, the batter. So I'll ask you, is that as easy to do as Jack is making that look?
I think that when you're under control of your body and your mechanics, you can add and subtract to your pitches. It's when you're fighting yourself mechanically, like I think he was his first 2 outings, which made it difficult. And then he's mixing in the 2 different breaking balls, right? That one there is the curve ball, has a little bit more depth to it. Then he can dot a heater away.
But even the swings now for Seattle aren't as confident as they were in that second inning all of a sudden. And Flaherty has struck out 5. He's walked 2. And he's way ahead of A.J. Pollock, who flied out in his first trip. And he's going to line towards center, and Nootbaar is there. And that'll take care of Seattle in order in the 3rd inning. Jack Flaherty settling in. 3-3 game after 3. On Friday, May 5th, when you buy your themed ticket, fans take home a boy band night t-shirt. Come on out early for a pregame concert by the boy band night in the Budweiser Terrace. Go to cardinals.com/theme for the details.
I know where to find you that night.
You got it. Bring it on. As Jordan Walker leads off, he singled his first trip and has a healthy cut and fouled away strike 1.
He'll be hanging tough in this at bat. I know you're a big new kids on the block guy. Always have been.
Yeah. Bieber.
What the heck is Bieber boy band? Does that count? He's by himself.
So good he doesn't need a supporting cast.
That makes him a solo artist, doesn't it?
Yes, but well, that's the first one that came to mind. At my age, give me a little credit. No balls, 2 strikes. As Walker takes time out. This is our first stop on the road trip. It feels like we've been gone from St. Louis for a month, doesn't it?
That's what traveling across the country does. Gives you a little respect for Seattle's travel they have during the season.
In fact, they've got an awful road trip coming up. They fly from Seattle to Philadelphia, Philadelphia to Toronto, Toronto to Oakland, and then Oakland home. That's next for Scott Service's bunch.
Woof.
Ground ball to the right side, and Flexen covers the bag. Walker's retired for out number 1. Yeah, it's said of Seattle that in the old days they flew more miles before the All-Star break than most teams flew all year. Their closest team geographically is Oakland, and that's what, 2.5 hours or so by airplane, maybe 3. That's tough duty out west.
You do wonder one of these days when baseball expands, and you know it will, do they find a partner up in this area. Portland, Vancouver.
Andrew Kisner with one out. Lines that out of play foul. I guess the big talk of baseball is that the Oakland A's have signed a deal for a binding purchase of roughly 50 acres on the Strip to try to build a ballpark there. Not a done deal. The A's organization trying to get public money to the tune of $500 million to help build the stadium and the surrounding entertainment district near where the now Las Vegas Raiders play. There's a looper into right field. Andrew Kisner has a one-out single. So he's aboard in front of Lars Nootbaar, who's already provided our T-Mobile coverage cam.
Yeah, Cardinals needed something big to happen early, some momentum early, and Newt said, you know what, guys, I got this, no big deal. This place here in Seattle, it gets loud. Well, it was loud with Cardinal fans yelling Newt after the first pitch of the ball game. I want to hear some more of that.
He also flied out to center. Jordan Walker wandered too far off the bag and was doubled up. And that's outside.
That was not the most textbook, fundamentally sound inning for the Cardinals.
No.
Didn't get down a sacrifice bunt and then getting doubled off at second.
But those are some of the little things that have plagued the team and have been instrumental in this 8-13 start.
Yeah, when things aren't going well like that, stuff like that ends up biting you.
Let her high and call the strike. It's 1-1. Crawford shading near the second base bag at shortstop. Suarez just about on the grass at third for Seattle. And just off the plate. 2-1 your count. Kisner with a base hit turns the lineup card to the top. Nootbaar and Goldschmidt to follow in a 3-3 game. You're a Vegas guy. Will the A's work in Las Vegas?
Oh, I think absolutely. Absolutely they would. It's amazing how the city took to the Golden Knights quickly. The Raiders, I mean, they've gone 0 to 100 when it comes to pro sports there. But I think baseball will do very, very well. You know how much young baseball talent comes out of Las Vegas. There's a big appetite for it. Still feel for it. At the same time, you feel for Oakland fans who have been passionate. I know you can look at the numbers and the attendance. There's a reason. I mean, they've been basically trying to force their way out of there.
3 balls, 2 strikes for Nootbaar. Kisner a short lead. The pitch is hit through the left side, a base hit. Nootbaar, a beautiful piece of hitting. And the Cardinals have 2 on in front of Paul Goldschmidt, who's reached base twice.
I mean, that was perfect. That was perfect. It was a cutter away. He hit it away. We showed the defensive alignment a little bit ago with Crawford up the middle. And this one just to his right side shoots it through. It's a great job by Nootbaar to utilize the whole field. We know that most of his power is going to be to the pull side, but in a spot right there, couple of strikes on you, the ability to go the other way is big.
So 2 aboard, 1 out for Paul Goldschmidt. Reel him in, Paul. 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, it's about time for a Goldie bomb, isn't it? Feel that coming. Just missed one in his first at bat.
One ball, 1 strike. Off the end of the bat, back our way. Goldie's last home run came against the Diamondbacks. He has 2 on the year. Flexen's given up 3 homers this season, make it 4 with Nootbaar's leadoff blast today. The 1-2 pitch. Lined on to Crawford at short, and the ball dropped at second. There's a break. Goldschmidt a missile, a sinking line drive, and Wong couldn't handle the play at second. That is the second out.
Well, another hard hit ball by Goldie. Crawford has played perfectly, and Kid's fortunate enough to get back on that one. Gives the Cardinals another chance here.
So instead of a double play, you've got Nolan Gorman up with 2 outs. This is where he's been destructive. Swing, fly ball, belted right center field. Gorman does it again.
And again, Gorman wastes no time. He sees a pitch that he likes, puts his best swing on it. You mentioned the damage that he's been doing in these spots. Now 14 RBI with 2 outs, a first pitch cutter. And the Cardinals are pouring on, battling right back into this ball game.
Isn't it funny? The 2 outs Seattle can't get means 3 runs the Cardinals do get.
Happens, right? And both of these teams, as we talked about leading into this series, nothing has gone exactly as planned for either of these teams that had big aspirations. Both came in with identical records. Seattle's taken the first 2 games, but it's those little things.
Now Arenado pops one up into the gray skies into shallow right, and it'll be Colton Wong who makes the play, and that'll retire the side. The Cardinals avoid a double play. Nolan Gorman on the first pitch launches a 3-run homer. 3-run homer gives the Cardinals 6 runs today.
Calm, cool, and collected in those spots. You look at those numbers, 6 and 2 when the Cardinals score 5 or more runs. Keep this one going, and again, a little breathing room for Jack Flaherty, who had a very nice inning in the third, a couple of punch outs, and a nice play in center by Newt.
Needs a shutdown inning here. You've got all the momentum in your dugout. Your offense has given you a couple of first pitch home runs in this game. You've got the 8, 9, and 1 guys coming up. Mow them down and get your bats back to work here. One of the critical plays in the game last night was a 4-pitch walk to this man in the late innings. Again, Wong struggling to keep his average over 100 at the start of play in this series.
Colton Wong in his first at bat was able to just fist one into center field. It was a good pitch by Jack Flaherty, just tied him up. But that young man, boy, he is feeling it this year. We talked a lot about Kelnick, the adjustments that he made year 1 to year 2. I mean, Gorman has been one of the best bats in the game. By the way, playing a great second base as well.
He's looking like a third place hitter, don't you think?
Oh, for sure.
2 balls, 2 strikes for Colton Wong. Up the middle and a base hit. So a 2-strike hit for Wong. He's 2 for 2 today. And that's how the home 4th starts for Seattle. Cardinals Kids Clinic registration is open now. It's time to register your son or daughter age 7 to 13 for an unforgettable experience. Scheduled special guests include Brendan Donovan and Ryan Helsley. Register now at cardinals.com/clinics. Wong is 2 for 2. Crawford doubled and scored in the 3-run Seattle third. And that missed inside for J.P. Crawford. 1 ball, no strikes. Crawford was going to be the next big thing with the Philadelphia Phillies, the #1 pick 10 years ago. Seattle got him in a deal for Gene Segura and others for the start of the 2019 season.
Can't believe that's been 10 years.
2-0 pitch. In for a strike.
Jack has been showing in this ball game that he can get back into counts with that breaking ball. That is a nice weapon to have instead of having to pour in a fastball on a fastball count.
70 pitches for the Cardinals right-hander. And that one hurt right off the ankle bone. No thanks. 2-2.
Pitch right there, too, that Jack has not thrown a ton of in this ball game. It's that cutter that we talked a lot about in spring training that he was going to try to get these hitters off of. It's a harder slider there, and you know that one hurts. Crawford still trying to get a little feeling in that ankle as he limps back towards the plate. Going to give him a little bit of time. Pitch clock starts again, and I don't think you need pitch com to tell you I'd throw another cutter in.
Tried to, but he took it low. Full count. So a big pitch. You've got Rodriguez, the leadoff man, waiting next. Perfect world, you get a double play ball here. But Jack's got to make a 3-2 pitch here to the Seattle shortstop, J.P. Crawford. 6-3 Cardinals. He got him. Swing and a miss. 6th strikeout for Flaherty. That was nasty.
It's a fantastic job by Jack. Went right back to the slider, the same pitch that he missed with one to go. Throws this one. This one starts more over the plate. That's what gets him to swing. Big pitch right there.
Now a double play ball gets you out of the inning. Again, Flaherty's induced 7 double play balls this year. Rodriguez has struck out and has walked.
Rodriguez, difficult guy to double up the way that he runs. Colton Wong runs well also, but we know that Rodriguez can scorch a baseball, can get on somebody quickly.
Pretty good chance he's going to be playing on his home turf for the All-Star game, wouldn't you say, in the American League?
I feel pretty confident about that.
Mariners will be hosting the Midsummer Classic here. 3rd time their franchise has been awarded that honor. 1 ball, 1 strike. On the ground to 3rd. Tricky hop. Arenado stayed with it. Quick turn, and Flaherty doubles him up. Ah, you love it when they follow the script. We go to the 5th. 6-3 Cardinals in Game 3. Ford Dealers, proud sponsor of the St. Louis Cardinals, and by AT&T Fiber. Get hyper-fast internet with AT&T. There's some great camera work from Craig Wilson of the Cardinals, watching Jack Flaherty do his thing at T-Mobile Park. He does get a shutdown inning, Brad, and we head to the 5th. And a new pitcher greets the Cardinal offense.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool view of watching Jack Flaherty get ready as Penn Murphy gets ready. We saw him in the ball game yesterday, a scoreless 6 for Murphy. You'd think that the Mariners probably down 2 of their top relievers in this one, as Topa and Sewald have gone back-to-back.
Well, let's make it irrelevant. Let's score about 10 against these guys and get a streak going out here for the Cardinals. They're trying to win their 9th game of the year. They're up 6-3. Funny thing about the 8-13 record, the Cardinals have only been outscored by 6 runs this year. It's not like they've been blown out. It's, as we've said, 1 pitch, 1 play, 1 big hit.
I think that's the maddening part for everybody involved. You know how it is when you're struggling to find momentum. You're almost waiting for that bad thing to happen instead of expecting the good thing to happen. It happens when you're going through it too. You got to be able to shake that.
Someone slings in for a strike, and Contreras hasn't seen eye to eye with Dan Iasonia.
Yeah, look, that
Ollie said it's a ball too.
That's the only place though really that we've seen Dan Iasonia expand his zone is down under. I mean, that's definitely under the strike zone. But he has been calling that pitch down there. Both corners, off he's not giving, up he's not giving.
Swing and a miss, and Contreras shatters his bat. It splits lengthwise, and the big crowd in Seattle didn't like that.
Well, this isn't about that pitch. It's about the breaking ball down under the zone that was called against him. A little frustration boiling over there for Contreras. Does a good job, though, of watching his mouth with home plate umpire Dan Iassogno. Never mind, we'll see.
Yep, somebody got tossed. It's either Contreras or Ollie. Let's see. And that's what the Cardinal skipper's asking. Who's got to go? Breaking the bat is one thing, but the only man in the ballpark who knew that Contreras was screaming at him was the home plate umpire, Iassogno. And Wilson's going to get his money's worth, a few parting shots, as the designated hitter is ejected from the game.
Yeah, I spoke a tiny bit too soon there. Talking about the constraint there, you know, the passion that Wilson plays with. He was frustrated with a couple of pitches today from Dan Iassogno and couldn't hold back.
O'Neill pops one into shallow right. Out goes Colton Wong. He makes the shoulder high grab, and quickly 2 men are out. So you saw Ollie escorting Contreras to the stairwell leading to the Cardinals clubhouse, and now he's back at his perch on the first step. Here's DeYoung. Ball back with the big league club. Singled his first trip up and takes a strike. Cardinals have out-hit the Mariners 9-5 today. They've hit a couple of first pitch homers, one by Nootbaar to start the game, one by Nolan Gorman in the fourth, after Seattle could not complete a double play on a soft line drive to short.
Yeah, it was huge. That was a big break for the Cardinals. And it wasn't that it wasn't bad base running by Kisner. Kisner was getting his secondary lead. Line drive to Crawford, couldn't get it to Wong in time, or just off the line was the throw.
Most of the damage for the Cardinals off Chris Flexen, who gave up 6 runs, 9 hits in his 4 innings. He walked 3, struck out 3. Now Penn Murphy, the first Seattle reliever. Jack Flaherty through 4 innings has allowed 3 runs. Into center field, a base hit for Paul DeYoung. He's got 2 hits.
Love it. Love it. Welcome back, Paul DeYoung. And again, it's another look here at the simplified approach in the swing of Paul DeYoung. Not as many moving parts, not that huge leg kick, just hands getting to the ball and driving it. Like we talked about earlier, you get some knocks, you can get some reps.
So a 10-hit day for the Cardinal offense today. Here's Jordan Walker. That's the pitch that this kid's been seeing over the last 2 weeks. Lots and lots of breaking balls, but if you make a mistake with it, Brad, he can kill it.
See, that's the thing. Even if Walker is thinking, all right, let me look away, let me think up the middle the other way, if it backs up, his hands are so fast, he's got the power to pull it out of the ballpark. And Murphy's thinking to himself, boy, this guy's got the power to pull it out of the ballpark. I better be careful.
Yank that one outside. 2 balls, no strikes. All the Seattle outfielders back up a step or 3 with Jordan Walker in the box. 2-0 pitch. And they're pitching him very carefully with Kisner waiting on deck. Four of the 6 Cardinals runs today have come with 2 outs. That has been a calling card of the offense. Hope that continues the rest of the summer. If it does, we're going to have some fun. Looking good today in game 3, up 6-3 in the 5th. Oh, what a rip. Wants that one back. 3-2.
That's exactly the pitch that we're talking about. You know you're going to get a steady diet of off-speed pitches. The one that backs up is the one that you want to punish. You know, Murphy knows that too. He's going to be very, very careful. Try to go way away with this one.
And Jordan takes ball 4. So a patient at bat. He'll hand the baton to Andrew Kisner, who has singled and scored. And before the Cardinals try to add on to a 3-run lead, let's enjoy a quick word from BOS.
When you need to expand your business, turn to BOS. We can make loan decisions locally, so you can unleash your full potential. BOS, bank boldly.
The Mariners battery meets with Andrew Kisner lurking. St. Louis got 2 in the first, 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth. They look to add on. One of Brad's keys today. Keep pouring on the offense against Seattle.
That's it, and a great opportunity here for Kisner, who went the other way in his last at bat with a single to right on a slider.
Got another one. Hits this one toward right, but it's going to curl out to Teoscar Hernandez. And that will retire the side. We're halfway home in Seattle. The Cardinals lead game 3. We head down to San Francisco for a date with the Giants. Brad, that's our Budweiser What's on Tap.
Yeah, 4 games set against San Francisco, then head on down the California coast to LA. A long road trip, and one that the Cardinals would love to get this first win on and get on a roll.
I have a feeling we're going to get you to fall in love with fish while we dine in San Francisco.
Well, I tell you what, it's probably not going to happen.
Oh, come on now.
Well, if it's been 41 years to this point.
Swing and a miss. You know what? You tried some fish and chips while we were here in Seattle.
I did get bullied into a bite of it, and it was fine. I dissected it in my mouth for about 7 or 8 minutes like a child. Same way I was looked at when I ordered chicken.
Downstairs. Well, if you don't like fish, you're going to hate the crickets that they serve here in Seattle. Had those yesterday. That was interesting.
Yeah, you sure did. And look, you were a gamer. I said said that if we needed a rally, I would try them, and I lied to you. We needed a rally. Didn't need them.
And the Cardinals have scored 6 runs as a result.
Well,
you're such a team player. It's amazing.
Day late, dollar short.
I got to ask you a question after the 3-1 pitch to Ty France, who drove in 2 runs his last time up. You have to choose between crickets or fish. Which way you going?
What kind of fish? I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, fish is like that's a very broad, a big ocean out there, Chip.
High fly ball toward left. No carry to that. And Nootbaar will say to Tyler, I got this one. And there is out number 1. You don't have to be picky. Just pick a fish.
I'm still thinking here between the two.
So you're saying the crickets have a chance. Here's Suarez. He's popped out and walked.
They were at least crunchy. You know what I mean?
They
a little
were
texture to it if I don't know what I'm eating.
Yep.
I think I'm going with the crickets here.
Yeah, I think you're right. Inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Yeah, have you ever been to Oracle Park in San Francisco as a broadcaster?
Not as a broadcaster, no. It's been a while.
It's a beauty, as that's out of play foul. Garlic fries.
That I'm in. I am in. That's more up my alley.
Glad we're not roommates. It's going to be great. Beginning tomorrow night. Swing and a miss for Jack Flaherty. The Giants have struggled out of the gate. 7-13 is Gabe Kapler's crew. As Suarez takes outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Giants entertain the Mets in a little while. We'll make our way from Seattle, hopefully after a series-ending victory today. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Flaherty just mowed him down. That's 7 strikeouts for Big Jack. And 2 are out.
When Jack is looking to finish off a hitter, this is what he's going to. He can throw the slider for a strike. He can throw it for chase, and he gets another punch out there with it. You know that Dusty Blake is liking what he's seeing, looking on and watching Jack Flaherty in this one.
Cal Raleigh has whiffed twice. And a big swing and a miss there.
Got away with one right there. Jack was trying to throw that cutter in on the hands of Cal Raleigh. Ended up leaving it a little bit middle, make an adjustment on this next one. There it is. That's the adjustment. Getting right on top of it, putting it on the corner. Now you're in the driver's seat. As you mentioned, he's punched out Raleigh twice in this ball game. Finished him with the curveball down under the zone the first time. Second at bat in the second inning. Fastball up and away. Got some options here now that you've opened him up with that cutter. I think about going back up and in. I'm going to go down. Nice pitch. 97 from Jack Flaherty.
Best fastball of the day, and for the Mariners offense in the 5th, crickets indeed. 6-3 St. Louis. 18th annual Pooches in the ballpark. 25,000 fans 16 and up get the first Cardinals bobblehead featuring closer Ryan Helsley and his adorable pup Major. That's brought to you by our friends at Purina. Tickets are at cardinals.com/promotions. This is Gabe Spire. He's been well rested. 7 2/3 innings with a perfect ERA.
Yeah, he's been solid. Spent the last 4 years with the Kansas City Royals and finds himself a new home here in the bullpen with the Mariners.
So he'll face the top of the Cardinals order. 2 of the first 3 hitters for St. Louis left-handed. And they have done some damage today. Nootbaar led off the game with a home run on the first pitch. He also singled and scored ahead of Nolan Gorman's 3-run homer. That's the difference in today's game. One ball, 1 strike.
You're going to get a lot of that to the lefties with Spire. He likes that sinker and he just pumps them in there.
Spire, the second reliever for Seattle. And another shot the other way. Crawford diving stop. Scrambles to his feet and can't make the throw in time. Nootbaar has 3 hits. Love the fact he's gone the opposite way with his last 2. So
what's the best part of turning 100? You. Our neighbors we've had the opportunity to support throughout the years. Great Southern Bank, celebrating 100 years of support.
So after that great word from our friends at Great Southern Bank, here is Paul Goldschmidt. He's reached twice and scored twice. Cardinals with 11 hits. $16 hits for the Cardinals is their season high. That came in the opening series with Toronto. We got a lot of baseball left. A chance to pass that today. Pitch.
And that's the pitch you're going to see Spire try to tie up those right-handers with. That slider coming in on him. That one right there is going to be very difficult to keep fair. Oh, 2.
with the Cardinals first baseman Paul Goldschmidt. Big crowd in Seattle, awfully quiet now as the Redbirds lead 6-3. The pitch smoked into center. Rodriguez drifting back though is going to make the play. Can't hit it any harder than that, but it was right at the reigning Rookie of the Year in the American League. And Goldschmidt's retired for out number one. Here's our BJC Healthcare difference maker, Nolan Gorman.
First pitch, cutter, jumped all over it. The 2 hits that he's got today have both been on the first pitch, not wasting any time, and drove in 3 more. Again, with 2 outs, that's 14 2-out RBI on the season for Nolan Gorman.
Rolled foul for a strike. Already more homers this year with runners on base than all of last season.
He just looks different. He looks so much different, so calm.
As I said earlier, he looks like a 3-4-5 hitter at the plate. He's not just pulling the ball to right, he's using all fields, he's drawing his walks, and he's hitting everything hard.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers to this point have all looked like that, a middle of the order impact bat. Eugenio Suarez playing well off the line. Maybe one of those sinkers away, slaps it that way.
Instead, it's up the middle. Crawford slides. One jump step, but not in time. That was slick up the middle. And Nootbaar forced. Gorman trades places with him, and now there are 2 out.
Well, we've seen some of the circus act turns of Kolten Wong throughout the years. Nice job by Crawford. Kolten Wong, all of his momentum is taking him the other way. Had to get a lot on that throw, and Gorman ends up beating him by a step. Good effort by Kolten.
So Spire ready with his 11th pitch. Nolan Arenado, the hitter. He is 0 for 3 today. And in for a strike. Some fireworks in this game. Wilson Contreras ejected after striking out in the 5th inning. He's the Cardinals' designated hitter and today's backup catcher. And so with that in mind, Dylan Carlson is in the on-deck circle. We mentioned Taylor Motter lost his roster spot when Paul DeJong came back from his rehab. So who's the backup catcher if Kisner has some problems?
You'd have to think that would be the aforementioned Paul DeJong. Was a catcher back in the day anyhow. It's like riding a bike. Painful when you wreck, but like riding a bike nonetheless. Never forget how to catch. He'll be fine. Let's just hope we don't need it.
From your lips to God's ears. 1 ball, 2 strikes in a 6-3 6th inning. And outside 2-2. Middle of the order is coming up for the Mariners in the bottom half of this inning. First, the 2-2 pitch. That's rolled foul. Two in the first, 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth for the Cardinals. All the Mariners' runs came in the second. Jack Flaherty's over 90 pitches through 5. And that one punched into right field. That's going to drop down for a base hit. Nolan Arenado looked like he was swinging an axe. And he serves that into right for his first hit. The Cardinals have another one here, and the inning continues.
Chops down this slider. It's down and in. Good look at just the head down on contact. Again, Nolan does that as good as anybody in baseball. Just seeing the pitch in, seeing the contact off the bat, and puts it out in right and keeps things going here with 2 outs where the Cardinals have been very, very dangerous.
For their 6 runs with 2 outs today, and now Dylan Carlson will assume the role of DH for St. Louis. Again, Wilson Contreras ejected in the 5th inning after striking out. 12 Cardinal hits on the day. Pitch. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Carlson's done good work against lefties. See if that continues here with 2 outs. Runners go. The throw's going to go to second. It's high, and they got him. Arenado tagged out at the second base bag. Let's see if the Cardinals take a look at this.
They might want to quickly. It certainly appeared at first glance that Nolan might have had the toe in there first. The Mariners walking off the field, and Cardinals don't want to look at it.
High throw. Nolan just stuck. Through 5 innings today.
He has been great, sitting at 91 pitches right now. 95 has been the high on the year for Jack, getting a ton of swing and miss in this one. 19 swings and misses.
Teoscar Hernandez to left. O'Neill drifts back to the warning track and hauls it in. 1 pitch, 1 out as we check in again with Alexa Dat.
Chip, Cardinals manager Ali Marmol, speaking on Jack Flaherty, said he's extremely competitive. He understands what's at stake. He understands where we are, and he embraces the challenge of putting a stop to it. When I spoke to Jack, he said, obviously my biggest improvement has been the walks, but he also liked the command with his off-speed pitches last time out. He said it's just continuing to get a little bit better each time.
I think that's a great point, Alexa. Jack's made 2 or 3 pitches out of his breaking balls today. Changing speeds, location, it's really befuddled the Mariners hitters despite that 1 big second inning.
It certainly has. The good variation of the curveball, the slider, using the cutter, specifically the slider. We've seen that vary in speeds. And what sells it all is just how in control Jack has been of his body. The arm is in a good position with all of his pitches as Kelenic takes his timeout. But he's just been under control. Had the long second inning, labored 32 pitches, bent but didn't break. That's what you love to see out of Jack Flaherty.
He's scattered 5 hits. He has struck out 8. And is behind Kelenic here 2-0 and pulled a string there.
We'll make it 20 swing and misses now. That's the most for him since 2020.
Just a bit inside. Good try. 3 balls and a strike. Genesis Cabrera getting loose in the Cardinals bullpen in left. Seattle's pen is busy too. The pitch got on and missed. It's almost like 79 to 85 is the new 100. Hitters just for whatever reason have trouble adjusting to that.
Yeah, and then you rock them to sleep, right? You throw a few of those, maybe you could blow a fastball by somebody when you want to. We know this though, those pitches end up biting you if you leave them up, and he's done a good job of keeping them down.
Breaking ball on the ground. Goldie's got that, and plenty of time for Flaherty, who covers the bag, and that's out number 2. A.J. Pollock is the hitter, but first a quick word from BJC Healthcare. Pollock is 0 for 2. He's played pepper with Lars Nootbaar in center twice. In Seattle, just 5 hits in the game. And this has been a masterclass at how to throw a breaking ball for a strike. He has not had to throw many fastballs in this game.
Well, and he's used it effectively. He's finished off a couple of hitters. We saw his best bolt last inning. 97 to finish off Cal Raleigh. But just throwing those things in there. First it was the curveball, then the slider, commanding these counts like this, getting ahead as Pollock takes his timeout.
The 0-2 pitch. Just did stay alive.
A slider out of the hand of Jack, just backed up on him just a bit. Either try to bury that, or maybe this is heater time after lulling him to sleep.
It was.
Just wanted it in, pulled it over the plate a little bit more. Jack Flaherty 1 strike away from getting through 6 and giving the Cardinals their 3rd quality start of the year. Amazing that it's gotten to this point. What a pitch.
Froze him. What a way to end your performance. 9 strikeouts for Flaherty. It is the 3rd Cardinals quality start, and St. Louis on the way in Game 3. Thompson, Chip Carey, Alexa Dat with you. Cardinals have the lead, and Scott Service makes another Chevy call to the bullpen.
Diego Castillo well rested in this one. He comes in with 5 days off. ERA has been inflated for him. Castillo's going to come at the Cardinals. Got the fastball slider mix. Likes his changeup as well.
And he'll start with Dylan Carlson in this 7th inning. It is the Honda home run inning. If a Cardinal goes deep, your Gateway Honda dealers make a $1,000 donation to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Carlson was up last inning when Nolan Arenado was thrown out on the back end of a double steal attempt for the inning's 3rd out. So a fresh set of strikes for Carlson. He also assumes the DH spot. If you're just joining us, Wilson Contreras was ejected in the 5th inning after he struck out. So Carlson, O'Neill, and DeYoung. Popped up. Who wants it? France and Raleigh collide, and they hang on.
Well, there was nothing but confusion on that play. You've got Ty France crashing in from first. Raleigh there. You had Dylan Carlson running right through the middle of him as he made his way to first base. Nice job by Cal, though, to hang on to it.
And that takes crashing to a new extreme. But there's the first out.
Not sure I want to run into either one of those gentlemen.
No question. Here's Tyler O'Neill. Well, Jack Flaherty, magnificent. 9 strikeouts over his 6 innings, a quality start. 30 straight starts for Jack, 6 or fewer hits allowed, which adds to his Cardinal record.
That was huge. A huge performance from Jack, stepping up, had the swing and miss, got ahead, didn't let the big long inning get away from him, surrendered 3 in the 2nd, but left the bases loaded.
On the ground to second, right at Colton Wong. And there's your 2nd out. O'Neill 1 for 4. And we invite you to celebrate the ABCs at Busch Stadium Sunday, May 7th. It's Sesame Street Day at the ballpark. When you buy a theme ticket, fans can select either a unique Elmo bobblehead or a plush Cardinals themed Cookie Monster. For details, visit cardinals.com/theme. It's been a happy return for Paul DeYoung, wouldn't you say?
I would say, absolutely. A couple of hits in this one for DeYoung. He singled twice. Last time up was with 2 strikes. Very simple stroke.
One ball, 1 strike. And we said at the start of the show, the Cardinals would love to see Jack Flaherty return to his 2019 form. They'd love to see Paul DeYoung do the same. Today, it is like the good old days for that dynamic Cardinal duo.
Well, certainly, and you'd seen the flashes of it coming with Jack Flaherty. The first couple of ones, outliers, as we mentioned, the 13 walks that he's had. Great to see this, though, on the first day back for Paul DeJong.
High fly ball. That's hammered deep left center field. Rodriguez back and is gone. Paul DeJong with a 3-hit return has gone deep in Seattle.
Paul DeJong is probably floating around the bases. You know how good this feels. You know how hard he has worked to get back, to get healthy, to produce at the big league level. And his 3rd hit of the day is a beauty. Love it. How about again with 2 strikes, too, for Paul DeJong?
So another $1,000 donation to the Make-A-Wish Foundation from your Gateway Honda dealers. The man who was suffering from a bad back is back and doing serious damage in his season debut today. And the Cardinals add on. It's a 7-3 game in the 7th. And Walker didn't get that. And that'll be the inning. Time to stretch in Seattle. Jack Flaherty, Paul DeJong and company having some fun in the Pacific Northwest. Cardinals enjoy a 7-3 lead. Game 3 at T-Mobile Park. Budweiser, this Bud's for you. The only thing flooding around more lovely than the Cardinals' red feathers is the breaking balls of Jack Flaherty and the booming bats of Ollie's squad today.
Well, it has been a lot more fun in this ball game, certainly, than the last couple of games. The Cardinals offense has poured on, and Jack Flaherty went out there and did his thing in this ball game. Tons of swing and miss from Jack. Ended up punching out 9 in this outing. The slider was great. The curveball, he spotted it down. He located his fastball when he needed to. He finished off a couple of hitters with it. Just had it all working in this game. Again, it was a long 32-pitch second inning. He stranded the bases loaded and went right back to work. What an outing by Jack Flaherty.
It was in line to win his 2nd game of the season, and now the Cardinals make a Chevy call to the bullpen, and it's Genesis Cabrera who's looked very effective his last couple of times out.
He has looked effective. We saw Genesis Cabrera for 2/3 of an inning last night in action for his 8th game of the season. Got Kelnick to ground out, struck out Pollock. And how about another man of the hour and Paul DeJong? 3 hits in this ball game, including that home run. Great to see him back, and just so happy to see him having some success right now. You know that's got to be a big weight lifted. Just getting back felt good, but then producing in your first game back, that's great.
Colton Wong leads off the home 7th for the Mariners. And he takes a strike. Wong has struggled at the plate, but not today. His first 2-hit game of the season for Seattle. They have but 5 hits as Cabrera goes to work. Ahead in the count, 0-1. The score holds. I feel badly for Alexa. She's got a very difficult decision to make. Who do you talk to after this game?
I think you just pull double, triple duty here. I mean, you got to talk to everybody on a getaway day. Best of luck. She's got this.
DeJong at short. Long throw and safe. Colton Wong legs out an infield hit. A lot of English on that softly hit ball toward Paul. And Colton Wong gets a little revenge on the Cardinals. An infield hit starts the 7th. And here's Crawford. Well, the 8-9 guys for Seattle have done a good job today. They've reached base with 4 hits and 5 trips to the plate. And a breaking ball in for a strike. Crawford doubled and scored in the Mariners' 2nd. That was the long inning that Brad was speaking of for Jack Flaherty. Last time up, he struck out.
You'd also believe in this ball game. It's good to see 97 right there out of Cabrera. You believe in this ball game. It's been a week since Ryan Helsley has pitched. We talked to Ollie Marmol before the game, and pretty darn sure that he's going to make an appearance in this one. You got to get him a touch.
2-strike pitch. And Kisner smothered that. You always worry about that, right? Rest versus rust. And Ollie was joking with us before the game. I'd much rather have the green block on his pitching card matchups, meaning every other day.
Yeah, availability, right? Now here he is. Get him in, get him out. But that is the job of a back end of the bullpen guy. It's feast or famine.
So how do you stay sharp? Because bullpens and side sessions, as good as they may be, it's not the same as game competition.
It's not the same, but you have to know yourself well enough to know when you just have to get off the mound and have throw a little touch and feel, just to get a feel for some of your pitches off of a mound as opposed to flat ground. Playing catch beforehand, gets the call. 97 right there on the corner. Crawford doesn't like it.
That's been a strike most of the day, and to your point, 97 is lovely.
Ooh, 10th punch out of the day for the Cardinals pitching staff. First for Cabrera, your Plaza Tire Service pinch track, perfect.
So back to the top, and Julio Rodriguez, he has struck out, walked, and hit into a double play. Moved him off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes.
As you mentioned earlier, Cardinals have done a very good job against him so far this series. Such a dangerous hitter. Rookie of the year last year. All-star. That's one thing you've seen him do a lot, is try to really get inside on Rodriguez. They've tied him up in there a couple of times. Sometimes it's just for effect.
Drew Verhagen's up in the Cardinal bullpen. Rodriguez, the third Mariner hitter, and turned it loose, didn't get it. Under his hands at 90.
So went in there off the plate first with the fastball, and then goes in with the slider. Pretty nice combination there by Genesis Cabrera.
One on, one out. 4-run St. Louis lead. The pitch. And now this kid's trying to hit everything into the bullpens. That can be a big weapon for a guy like Genesis. Let's see what he does now. Back in the count. Oh, what a great try. Just missed. And it's a full count.
Well, talking to those around the Mariners organization, this is where they say they're most impressed with the young Rodriguez, is with 2 strikes. He does have a really good approach. He's not afraid to go the other way, as they're going to go talk it over.
That's because Ryan Helsley just got up. Want to get him some more work and get him ready with the 2, 3, 4 spots potentially coming up in this, the 7th and maybe the 8th. And so that meeting is a brief one. Here's a brief word from Tickets for Less.
Tickets for Less, for a better ticketing experience. Best seats, best prices, and no surprises at checkout.
Genesis wanted to get rolling here. Rodriguez wasn't set and ready, so time called. Now we reset and go back to work. Wong at first. And now Dan Iasonia out again talking with Cabrera. And a violation. It's ball 4. So Ollie's going to come out here and wants an explanation here. Well, Rodriguez was out of the box. Cabrera was ready and he was stopped.
It certainly wasn't a pitch clock violation. He was ready to pitch. I guess Dan Iasonia is saying he's ready and about to start his delivery before the hitter is up and alert to him. You see Dan Iasonia point to the eyes and say he had to be alert to the hitter For those that aren't familiar with the rules, you have to be, as a hitter, alert, what they're calling eyes on the pitcher, with 9 seconds left on the clock. Here's a look at it here. I don't see what Hennessy's did wrong there.
I don't either. You could see the pitch clock was in the teens, and it was Rodriguez who stepped out. And so now Ollie's giving Genesis Cabrera the explanation as to what happened, but it looked to me like it was Rodriguez that stopped the proceedings, not the Cardinal pitcher, who's going to be taken down here with 2 on and 1 out in the 7th inning. 7-3 your score. Of the proceedings, he's ejected Wilson Contreras, and on a 3-2 count, Genesis Cabrera was in a hurry to make a pitch, and I guess because Rodriguez wasn't set and ready to go, he cannot be ready to pitch so quickly.
It's really interesting, though. I mean, that's not really the way that the rule lays out there. And Dan Iasonia, the way that it looked like, he said, hey, I told you twice that you can't be ready to deliver the pitch. He came set, but he didn't start his delivery. I can't wait to get a little clarification on that one here as we see Ryan Helsley into the ball game.
It's been a while for Mr. Helsley.
Certainly has.
Ty France up with a 2-run single, and the first one lashed out a play foul for a strike.
Again, Ryan Helsley has had a week off. You knew he would end up being into a ball game, and this is a spot when you've got 2, 3, 4 coming up. Why not deploy him here in a big spot of the game where you'd love to get the stopper? 7th game of the year for Ryan Helsley.
Blistering fastball at 99, and just like that, it's 0-2. What you know is frustrating Genesis Cabrera. It was a 3-2 count. He wants to go mano a mano. He wants to decide things himself. Instead, a rules violation puts 2 on and 1 out.
Yeah, that is maddening for sure. And he was ticked off coming off the mound. Ollie Marmol was sitting with him, trying to give him an explanation of what exactly happened, how it went down. But he looks on now as his guys are out there, and Ryan Helsley's trying to keep him there.
2-strike pitch. Little roller hit toward DeYoung. The flip to second is in time. Throw to first, and they turned it. Ty France is out by a quarter step, and Helsley gets a double play. Let's see if the Mariners take a look at this. Scott Servais says hang on. For the moment, the Cardinals are out of the inning with a 4-run lead, and they won't challenge. To the 8th we go in Seattle. Brad Thompson, Alexa Dat, Chip Carey with you. Cardinals trying to salvage the 3rd game of this series. Andrew Kisner's had a nice day today. He's singled, he has scored, and he's done an excellent job with Jack Flaherty, the Cardinals starter, behind the plate.
The two definitely seem to work in concert today. Even his last at bat drove a ball out to right field. I think Kisner against Flexen especially just had that opposite field approach, and it paid off.
So Castillo back to work. 9-1-2 coming up for the Redbirds, who lead it 7-3. They've got 13 hits. And a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Castillo. There's your first out. And back to the top in Lars Nootbaar, who's got one of the Cardinals' 3-hit days today.
Well, led off the game with a homer, single in the 4th, single in the 6th as well. Gotta like that look and the flexibility at the top of the order. Having Newt up there, high on base percentage with some power.
I don't know about you, but I love the left right alternating lineups when you can do that. What does that do to you as an opposing pitcher?
Well, it just allows, first of all, it's matchups later in the game, right? And then it just doesn't allow you to get into that groove of, okay, well, this is how I'm getting these righties out. The slider's really working. You've really got to have your whole arsenal early, and being able to work both sides of the plate. That balance throughout is nice to have when you can do it.
Well, today it was Nootbaar and Goldschmidt. They've scored 4 runs. Gorman's driven home 3 runs. And this one up the middle. Crawford sliding play. Slings it to first. A gorgeous play for out number 2.
That had hit number 4 written all over it. Right up the middle. It was a fastball. It was hit hard. 101 off the bat by Nootbaar. Skips off the mound, and what a pick right there by Crawford. The quick slinger throw across the diamond. Nice play.
Here's Paul Goldschmidt. And a strike. Our great producer Brian Shapiro was just on the phone with Replay Center in New York, and we did get clarification that Genesis Cabrera was warned when he came set before the eyes of Julio Rodriguez were set and facing and focused on the pitcher. The umpire can issue a warning. If it happens a second time in the same at bat, the umpire by rule is allowed to award a penalty if he wishes. And so after the warning, Cabrera did it a second time. It just happened to come in a 3-ball count, which means ball 4, which means Rodriguez was awarded first base.
So be ready, but not too ready.
Right. Be fast, but not too fast. Right?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Makes sense?
Perfect. Clear as mud. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Kind of like how I feel at home. Did I do it right?
You're not doing that right. You say, yes, dear, is the answer to that. You should know that by now. The pitch. Strike 3. And that'll send us to the bottom of the 8th inning. Cardinals on their way in game 3, up 7-3. BJC Healthcare injury report. We got Paul DeYoung back. Might be getting Joaquin Rodriguez back soon too.
Yeah, the hard throwing right-hander who was the Cardinals Rule 5 pick from the Yankees. A guy that they had liked over the last couple of years. He is making his way back, and all the reports have been strong.
Yeah, if you throw a 98, I'd say you're strong.
If you like that sort of thing. I was always more of an 88, 89, try to miss the barrel guy, but I guess if you got 98 to 100 in the tank, you might as well use it, just like Ryan Helsley.
Who's back to work in the 8th inning. Eugenio Suarez leading off for Seattle. Suarez has popped out, struck out, and walked today. Helsley got a double played, and the 7th. It's been a while for him, so you figure he'll be fresh. That pitch lets you believe he is at 99. 2 balls and a strike.
Wow, that was a nice pitch to end up getting the double play, because you know, to your earlier point, you know he's going to be fresh. How sharp are you after having a week off? You know that he's throwing a few touch and feels off the mound. That looks pretty sharp right there. Good slider down and away to Suarez, who with that walk did extend his on base streak to 18 games. Pretty impressive for him. Your Plaza Tire Service pitch track. Perfect spot right there on the corner. Goes back to it, see if you can get him to expand.
Not that time. It's a full count. It's funny, we talk about rest versus rust for relief pitchers. Don't really say that an awful lot about starters. They're used to pitching every 5th day. And as you know, when you start a game, you can afford to have 1 rough inning like Jack did today. But if you pitch 5 more great ones after that, you can win the game. If you come in late as a closer or a setup guy and have a bad day, everybody in the ballpark knows it.
Yeah, you don't generally get a chance to feel things out in the bullpen. See what's working. That's what your couple of pitches in the pen are for, and the few you get off the mound before you start. You're right. You got to be dialed in early. And that's why the life of the bullpen, you better have a short memory. Like, you better go out there, do your job, whether it was great, whether it was bad. Next time out is a totally different day.
Pitch number 12 is way too high. Overcooked it. And Seattle gets a leadoff walk in inning number 8, and Cal Raleigh will be the hitter. First, though, let's check in again with Alexa.
Chip, I spoke to Ryan Helsley about his usage recently, and he mentioned it's been tough. He said, obviously, I'd like to pitch more, but it's just where we're at this point in the season. To counter that, he does take his catch pregame a bit more intensely, and as you guys have been talking about, he gets some touches off the mound in the bullpen to keep that feel. But he understands he's the back of the bullpen guy, and he's being safe for those big moments. He said, you know, the biggest thing for me is to stay positive mentally, to stay ready. Chip?
So far, so good, Alexa. He's faced 2 hitters. He's retired 1 of them. And now Raleigh, who's got the hat trick, 3 strikeouts, digs in. And again, as Ollie said, perfect world. You alternate days with Helsley, Gallegos, and whomever else, because that means you're on a nice roll. And you can get your bullpen shaped up and lined up the way you'd like. That's why the off day for St. Louis coming out on this West Coast trip was so important. It allowed the Cardinals to do exactly that.
Yeah, the bullpen was in a tough spot where they had been worked quite a bit, and even in a better world, it'd be nice to have that usage. If you're going to have a lack of usage for your closers, because you're blowing the doors off of people.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Let's not make things interesting here. There's still plenty of thunder on this Seattle lineup card. They're down 4 runs. They've got 6 outs left. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And rolled foul. We'll try again. We face the Giants tomorrow night. Jordan Montgomery will get the series started for the Cardinals as Helsley turns it loose. 2-2 and a strike 3 call. 4 strikeouts for Raleigh today, and there's your first out of the 8th inning.
Ryan Helsley rears back, fires and spots 99 down and away, and on a day that it felt like it probably couldn't get much worse, just did there for Cal Raleigh.
And he'll stew on that for a 6-hour flight to Philadelphia. Next, here's Teoscar Hernandez, and he takes ball 1.
Off day tomorrow. Keep him coming.
Cheese steaks and scrap will fix everything. That'll be on the menu, I'm sure. The pitch. Right there, a strike. The Mariners have never swept the Cardinals. St. Louis with a 3-run 4th and 7 runs on 13 hits total has increased the possibility of that trend continuing today. Lifted foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Hernandez, who's had an outstanding series for the Mariners. A couple of homers. He's knocked in 3 runs. A quiet day today, but you can see, Brad, why they brought him over from the Blue Jays.
Oh, for sure. 25 home runs a year ago, 32 in 2021. Big time power. They wanted to add some more length to this lineup here, and he definitely does that.
Strike 3 on a breaking ball. No rust for Helsley, and now Teoscar is grouchy.
Yeah, it looked like Teoscar Hernandez said a couple of words and then said sorry to home plate umpire Dan Iasonia. Didn't like the slider at the bottom of the zone. That's the thing with Ryan Helsley. You're sitting there thinking, you know, he's got a triple-digit heater, so you're gearing up for that. Then he throws the bender at the bottom of the zone. Not much you're going to do with it.
Here's Kelnick. First pitch swing, fly ball center. Nootbaar going back. He's got plenty of room, and Helsley, no rust at all. 2 strikeouts, a double play, a walk, and a scoreless inning in 2/3 for the Cardinals. Fitting, Brad, let's take a look at our Budweiser player of the game. How about the return of that guy?
Well, welcome back to Paul DeJong. A long road back to the big leagues as he spent the first couple of weeks of the season on the IL in Memphis, putting in the work, and he's putting in the work in this game. A couple of singles, added a home run to it, and a nice return for Paulie D.
No question, a 3-hit day. As Ollie's squad leads 7-3 after 8. Cardinals have out-hit him 13-6, as you see. And now Taylor Saucedo, a former Toronto Blue Jay, answers a Chevy call to the bullpen.
Yeah, spent a tiny bit of time with the Mets, was designated for assignment. The Mariners ended up picking him up. Another lefty in the pen here. Tommy Edman. He's going to do the hitting.
So Tommy Edman leads off the 9th inning. Good day today for Nolan Gorman. He singled, hit a 3-run homer. Cardinals doing a lot of damage with 2 outs on this day. Love to see that. They've got 5 of their 7 runs with 2 outs. That has been a big story for St. Louis. Edman, as you see, 19 for 69 at the plate. See if he can flip the script here in the top of the 9th. 3-1.
As we know, Tommy Edman has had a ton of success from this side of the plate against the lefties. We even saw him flip over this side of the plate against Kirby in game 1 and draws the walk here.
So a good start to the St. Louis 9th. Here is Nolan Arenado. He has a 6th inning hit today. .24 pitches for Ryan Helsley. And so Giovanni Gallegos gets up for the Cardinals, who lead by 4. The pitch. In for a strike.
I don't think Nolan loved that call at the bottom of the zone either. The thing, though, if you try to go back there, if you're Saucedo, Nolan hits the ball down really well.
Saucedo, born in Honolulu. Former 21st round pick by the Blue Jays. Like so many young players, you look at their playing record, their back of the bubblegum card. You see that blank line for 2020. Remarkably, so many have made their way to the big leagues after having a full year of their life and their baseball development interrupted because of the COVID pandemic.
Yeah, I don't think that we'll ever know the ramifications baseball wise of missing a full season. And certainly there are the great stories, and there are the fortunate few that were at these alternate sites and ended up getting reps in, but most guys did not. A lot of guys had to go back and just get jobs, and as hard as that was to do, as we all know, during a pandemic.
A nice pitch to take care of Arenado for out number 1 in the 9th. And here is Dylan Carlson, who popped out in his only plate appearance. He has assumed the lineup card spot of Wilson Contreras, who was ejected from the game in the 5th. If you had to draw up a kind of game the Cardinals wanted to see, needed to see, I guess, Brad, this would be it today.
Well, putting up crooked numbers, get a quality start, the 3rd of the season. Cardinals coming into this action today only had 2. They were both Jordan Montgomery. Jack Flaherty adds 1, does so in dominant fashion, punches out 9. It's what you wanted to see. The return of Paul DeJong has gone well. Still got to put a bow on this thing, but you like what you've seen to this point.
And speaking of quality starts, Montgomery's the man that will start the series against San Francisco. So to your point, yeah, finish this one off and think about starting a positive string of play for the Cardinals against the Giants. That's rolled to 3rd. Suarez to 2nd, 1, and a turn will be not in time. Carlson down the line, beat the wrap to keep the inning alive. And 2 outs for Tyler O'Neill, who's added an RBI single of his own today. Seven, 8, 9 for the Mariners in the bottom of the 9th inning coming up. As O'Neill digs in with 2 outs. That's why Helsley came into the game after Cabrera gave up the infield hit and the by rule ball 4. He won't get a save, but those were the most important outs with that part of the lineup card up.
Yeah, they were huge, and he came in, got the job done. Looked good for having 7 days off. Goes back to Alexa's report on just, look, he knows how to keep himself ready in between, get those touches, keeping himself mentally ready to get into the ball game when his team needs him.
Outside for Tyler, 2 balls and a strike. You know, this has been a busy weekend for him. Friends and family from British Columbia came down to watch him play these last 2 games. And he's got a RBI hit today. Ground ball to short. And the flip to second is in time. And we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Ollie and the Cardinals 3 outs away from their 9th win in Seattle against Scott Service and the Mariners. To the bottom of the 9th we go. Our final visit to Seattle in 2023. We'll be back here in 2025 as all part of the new scheduling for Major League Baseball. Giovanni Gallegos pitching in his 7th game. 19 pitches for him yesterday. When he's pitched, he's been very good, and he answers our Chevy call to the bullpen.
It has been very good. He came into an inning yesterday, the first time where he had inherited runners. Unfortunately, those 2 runners came in to score on a double down the line by Eugenio Suarez. So you know that he is happy to be back out there trying to shut the door on this one. No stranger to the 9th inning is Giovanni Gallegos.
And he'll face, as we said, the 7, 8, 9 hitters for Seattle in the 9th inning. It starts with A.J. Pollock, who is 0 for 3 and 2 for 11 so far in the series. What a return for Paul DeJong. 3 hits and a homer. And a strike. With all these new pitch clock rules, one thing, I don't know if you've noticed it or not, you seldom hear walk-up music anymore for a player in the big leagues. We had a momentary lull before Gallegos threw his first pitch, and Pollock was greeted with Pearl Jam. One of the great bands from Seattle.
Every once in a while, you get a leadoff hitter of an inning.
Yeah.
Might get a little bit. Sometimes you'll try to sneak him in.
There's a strike. It's 1 and 2.
Might not get the walk-up music as much. They're jamming here during batting practice, though. Letting it rip in Seattle.
Did he go? Yes, he did. And Pollock is rung up. Good start for Gallegos. Boy, the Cardinals have racked up the strikeouts in this game, haven't they?
They certainly have. That right there, number 13 on the day. Good breaking ball down and away. Again, disappearing slider.
Colton Wong's 3 for 3. Enough of that. He has half of Seattle's hits. Jack Flaherty started for the Cardinals, his 30th consecutive game, allowing 6 or fewer hits. He went 6 innings, struck out 9, and was over 100 pitches today. This one popped up. DeJong going out. Who wants it? And there's your second out. O'Neill handles that, and the Cardinals are 1 away from a happy flight to San Fran. That ends Colton Wong's perfect day. And J.P. Crawford, the final hope.
Ed O'Neill and Newt Barr laughing on that play in center field. There was one a couple of innings ago where Newt just basically cut in front of O'Neill and caught it. Tyler said, I can play here too.
Maybe Newt was saying, I've got it in Japanese. I don't know. We'll have to find out after the game. Here's J.P. Crawford. Great story here in Seattle. Newt got to meet one of his heroes, Ichiro Suzuki, before we started the series. And if you get a chance to come to Seattle and watch the Mariners play, Ichiro frolics around in the outfield like he's 25 still. It's unbelievable.
I mean, I really thought that they just have one of their young players out there just taking some reps off the bat, but no, it was Ichiro flying into the corners making plays.
Cardinal fans hooting and hollering as Crawford down to his last strike. And that's in the dirt. 1 and 2 is your count. Cardinals scored early, they scored often, and terrific pitching has outdueled Scott Service today. And that's your ball game. Strike 3 called. What a way to finish for the Cardinals, who will head to San Francisco, Brad, with a 7-3 victory under their belts.
The Cardinals pitching staff strikes out 14. A quality start from Jack Flaherty, where he punches out 9. The offense comes alive, and Paul DeJong back in the big leagues with a 3-hit day, including a homer. Just what the doctor ordered for the Birds before they head to San Francisco.
A 13-hit attack for the Cardinals, a couple of 3-hit games. DeJong and Nootbaar do that, so plenty of good stuff to talk about on the Cardinals post-game show. That's coming your way after a 7-3 final.